Hello, folks.
Hi, Josh.
I'm not hearing anything. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. You're
Hello?
good. Can you hear me,
Working.
Josh? Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh. Hello? I was on mute. That explains that
We
one.
can hear you loud and clear, Josh.
Yes, now I hear you all too. I just came from another customer meeting, so I probably shouldn't be displaying their stuff here. Put it on. Let's
It's
figure out how to-
okay. It is way too
You can use-
pixelated.
You can use a blur background, something like that.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, here.
All right, we'll give folks another couple minutes to join. Find the notes here.
Hey, Prithvi, I don't know if you realize this, but you're not muted and we can hear you.
Sorry about that.
No
Oh,
worries.
All right, well, we're 3 minutes past the hour. We've got a pretty good quorum here. I think we should go ahead and start. I pasted in the notes if you want to put in your name there. Official record of attendance. We're recording here. Let's see, a lot of times we start out, is there anyone new here that wants to introduce themselves? Just to give us an idea of where you want to help or what you're how come you're joining today. I do see a couple new folks.
Yeah, I think we've been we used to attend more regularly these meetings. So Josh, we took a kind of a pause, so we are getting back into the momentum. Yeah, I can introduce myself, and the team from Litmus also is here. Can I go ahead, introduce myself?
Sure.
Yeah, hi everyone. Nice to meet you all. Uma Mukara, I was the initial maintainer, co-founder of Litmus Chaos project. Also founded and ran a few other companies before ending up at running chaos engineering at Harness Inc. Currently, apart from maintaining Litmus project, I also head the chaos engineering practice for Harness, where I work with large enterprise customers, learning from them, and trying to make sense of what's going on in the chaos engineering industry and how we can improve things to the project. So that's my charter. I have with me a couple of other team members from Litmus project as well, as we're giving an update here today. Prithvi, you want to go next?
Sure. Hi,
Yes,
everyone.
I'm moving.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. This is Prithvi here. I've been leading the Litmus community since the last 3 years. And I think even I'm joining this call after a long time. But nice to see you all, and nice to see the updates with Tag App Delivery. And other than that, I've been working. I'm also a CNCF ambassador, and I've been working closely organizing KCD Bangalore and other stuff in the CNCF paradigm. Thanks everyone.
I can go next. Hey everyone, this is Arna, and I'm a senior software engineer at Harness and also one of the maintainers of Litmus Chaos. And it has been like more than 1.5 years I've been contributing to Litmus. Yeah. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah.
Hi all. I am Ajesh. I work as a senior engineering manager in Harness. I was being part of the Litmus Chaos project from the inception. Yeah.
Very cool. I was listening. I was kind of walking around finding a place to sit in this office. I'm kind of thinking, since we're already talking with you all on the Litmus stuff, why don't we do the project presentation first thing, and then the couple of other items we'll do after. So if you guys want to just get started, I think we like to allocate about 15-20 minutes, and we'll ask questions as we go. I'm going to go on mute.
Okay, hopefully you're seeing the right screen. Rajesh, can you confirm? There are multiple monitors.
Yes,
It's the right screen.
Okay, yeah, I have 15 minutes of Prithvi, and I will give a quick update on the project itself. We are an incubating level project at CNCF. Just a quick background, this project, we started about 6 years ago, and then we developed at another company, Chaos Native, and then it became a sandbox project and then incubating project. Around that time, the entire team moved to Harness, where we've been, really busy learning from some of the enterprise deployments as well. So along with, adding the same thing back to, open source world, some of them, right? So this project update is primarily focused on, what's going on in the community, in the last 1 year after we became an incubating project, and also, some of the main significant enhancements that we're doing. The next big release is coming. And also in the end, I'll give a very quick update on the Chaos Engineering Work Group. Probably we'll see some more 15 minutes update in the next meeting to provide a detailed update. So since incubation, the project has been steadily growing in terms of adoption as well as contributions. We have not sought out aggressively to add adopters, but I believe there are many users, new users that have started using Litmus in their regular usage for enterprise needs, etc., etc. Just before the incubation, we generally reached out to the community. Hey, if you're using Litmus, please add yourself as an adopter. We're not been doing that. Maybe before the graduation, we'll efforts will go and do that. But organically, around 8 new adopters have come in, and we believe there may be another 50 to 60 out there who would want to come in and add themselves. But in terms of contributors too, we have added around 50 new contributors, and there are about close to 3,000 plus commits. And we've been adding new maintainers, some 2 to 3 outside Harness. Then we actually put in new members as part of our core team, right, who became maintainers. And then Slack has been active. There's a lot of Litmus usage, but we come to know primarily from support needs, community support when they come and ask on Slack channels. And in terms of adoption, the growth has been really good since the early this year, because some large users have been using Litmus. So if you see the Docker pulse, there's been a steady increase in terms of the usage of the Litmus itself. So I think that's a good encouraging thing in terms of reaching about a million polls on a monthly basis. Now coming to what we have delivered, there are so many commits. These are some of the top level enhancements or features that we have done. A good number of additions were done to Chaos faults or Chaos experiments. One of the primary asks was, now that infrastructure wise you're all good, how can I introduce API level chaos? So for that, we have added HTTP chaos being used pretty much heavily, and also added some GCP and AWS related experiments. And one of the community members from Orange have contributed a whole set of Spring Boot experiments. That was good. And some of the larger users, some banks have been using Litmus. They've been asking for jitter support and randomization support. So we made enhancements to network chaos faults and runtime. Apart from Docker, we added Containerd and Cryo as well. And C groups version 2 support for stress chaos, like CPU memory chaos were added. So these are some of the high level details of how the experiments have been improving themselves in terms of when large number of users use, they get better and better, right? And those are on the experiment side. And on the chaos management, the orchestration layer, Litmus Chaos provides a centralized console where for an organization, you would need only one deployment of Litmus control plane, and then hundreds of clusters can be connected, or thousands of namespaces can be connected to the control plane, and they can run chaos from it. So it's already a stable orchestration platform. To that, we generally keep adding some security enhancements where how you can configure the certificates, and then some of the APIs were refactored to let the users automate the chaos experiments, as per the regular interest. And one of the issues that we encountered is when you introduce chaos, very aggressively, the control plane agent on the cluster is also undergoing chaos and gets deleted. So some topology settings were added so that we can cordon that off, or put it into a separate namespace or a node, etc., etc. And apart from that, we added private chaos hubs where users can start maintaining their own version of chaos experiments, and then maintain it like a code. And we also significantly improved how fast a new chaos hub can come on board in terms of making the execution environment leaner. So I mean, Litmus is going through 2.x release, so it's pretty stable. So these are good enhancements that were primarily coming as a request from the end users, right? Similarly, on the execution plane, again, the major enhancements are the ask from the end customers. How can we scale with helper pods being one helper pod for the entire cluster rather than one for each experiment. And we also upgraded to the new SDK version. Some of the banks reported security vulnerabilities in the images, so we started continuously updating the images. Frequent scanning is getting done. And also some community users wanted to deploy the execution plane in an automated way, GitOps way. So the Helm chart support is added for the chaos agents. And also some HA support is added because we moved to the newer operator SDK version. There was a HA support that came in through that. And again, Litmus ETL, which is the control side component for Litmus, a more user-centric operations were added. CRUD operations you can manage. This is helpful for doing some script-based automation of chaos. So this was again community contributed. They went ahead and then enabled the PRs. Before I go into the roadmap, maybe Prithvi can talk about some of the community activities that we've been doing in the last 1 year. Prithvi.
I can go next. So, I mean, we started off with KubeCon. I think post incubation, one of the main things that happened was KubeCon EU Valencia, and we had a couple of talks there, a maintainer track as well. And unfortunately, a few folks couldn't travel. But again, we had Ramiro from Octeto. He's been a contributor since the last 3 years. Spoke about how chaos engineering could be brought to cloud native developers. It was also held by Uma. And then I think we got some good traction over the maintainer track as well, where Sayam, he's from Sivo. He's been again a popular community member. He spoke about the use case at Sivo with Litmus. And again, the project meeting as well, we saw some good amount of folks, good amount of traction coming in. And I think that was same for KubeCon NA as well, where we had 3 talks. Again, one of them was on SLO validation. So we have been doing some good work with another CNCF project, that's Iterate. So that was presented by Shubham and Srinivas. And then obviously we had something on the fintech domain where FIS, which is one of our adopters as well, Raj Raju from FIS and Nilanjan from the Litmus community, went on and presented how chaos engineering with Litmus is being applied on the fintech side. My next slide. So this KubeCon was a great one as well. I mean, the last few months we have seen some good adoption, and I think this KubeCon we saw some organic folks, new folks coming in, and a lot of new folks joining in was the surprise, because have people coming back is one thing, but new people showing interest in chaos engineering is another thing. And I think one of the main questions that we answered through our maintainer track was about security controls and how safe chaos experimentation is important, security chaos engineering. That was about our maintainer track. But even at the booth, there were a lot of new questions about integrations. And I think overall, both the KubeCons have been pretty successful from a project standpoint, and moving ahead as well, discussing the path to graduation. Other than that, Litmus participated in Chaos Carnival. There were around 9 talks, and a lot of latest adopters like HCL, folks from Accenture, InfraCloud, Talent, API 6. They talked about how they have been using Litmus, why they chose Litmus. There's been a project comparison, or there's been a lot more that was presented in terms of use cases, how they have built their chaos engineering journey. So Chaos Carnival, again, Litmus Chaos has been a community sponsor to the conference. We started off more from a community background, and now it's become one of the most popular chaos engineering conferences, and Litmus being so evidently present there, I think that was the good part. And obviously, I think around 1,000+ folks as attendees, getting to know the updates with Litmus has been phenomenal for the project.
Yeah, just to add to that, first edition of Chaos Carnival, maintainers used to reach out for, hey, if you're using Litmus, come present it. But now we are giving, we are getting more and more CFPs, and we are almost trying to choose the most relevant ones. So it definitely is acting as a good platform for showcasing how they've been using Litmus. So yep.
Lastly, this is on the CNCF mentorship program. We already had a successful mentee, Nam Q Park, finishing his mentorship, and he's one of the computer science students at Konkuk University from South Korea, and he was working on the backend side. His work was basically refactoring the current backend structure, and he helped us improve the code quality and add some unit tests on the Litmus Chaos components. So his tenure just finished last month, end of May, and he was mentored by a couple of maintainers, Amit, Das, and Sayan Mondal. And this is his success story, which was published on the CNCF blog as well. And it's been one of the popular blogs appreciated by the CNCF itself, that a mentee coming from the Litmus Chaos project has presented his success story. So, and then for this session as well, we are having a couple of new mentees joining us. So hopefully we'll have another successful CNCF LFX mentorship program. Yeah, that's from the community side.
I think we have about 5 minutes, Josh, if I may take. Yeah. So thanks, Prithvi. That's we talked about how the adoption has been increasing and what we've been listening to and added more support for community requests and then community events. Now coming on to what we've been working on the last 1 year as the next big thing in Litmus. We're calling it as Litmus 3.0. One of the observations is, Litmus adoption requires a little bit more robustness support in terms of how you can automate so that, larger enterprises can take it. And also, on the execution plane side, you want to make it lean. So we are rewriting some of the core pieces, for example, in workload engine. And also try to add more developer-centric libraries. So chaos for developers was an ambition 5 years ago, 4 years ago, but now it's kind of a requirement, right? So chaos was used to be, break things in production. Now chaos is more of a practical runs at pipelines. And the next thing is, hey, chaos in your developer pipelines, right? So when you submit some code, your code gets built, tested for chaos, and then your results will come in, right? So that Litmus is adding the infrastructure support to make that vision possible, right? So as part of that, we've been adding some, this is one of, those are the goals. And Litmus is 3.0 in beta for more than 6 months now. And public preview is coming up, end of this month or early next month. So primarily, the large enterprise customers that Harness has been dealing with, they gave significant feedback on how you can manage, we should be able to manage the resilience probes or the steady state conditions. So we are calling that as resilience probes, as managed resilience probes. That we are upstreaming into the open source. And also the entire user experience of chaos should be around a resilience core, right? Why are you running chaos, right? Not for breaking something, but to find how resilient the target environment is, right? So we are flipping the user experience to resilience centric. And also, Harness approved a lot of the UI libraries that were part of it. We're moving them to Apache 2 and pushing them up so that we have a much better experience for our open source users as well. So that's one of the good things coming in from Harness. And also around 1.5 years ago, we have launched Litmus Chaos.cloud, which is basically a hosted version of Litmus. Litmus users have a choice. Either you can use the Helm chart and put it on your cluster, or as somebody has hosted it, then you can get a free control plane and then connect your execution plane to that, right? So that was based on Chaos native platform that, before coming to Harness. But now we have improved a lot of user experience related features, and we want to merge that Litmus Chaos.cloud into Harness. But Harness also has enterprise version. So we created a totally free tier, just like GitHub, for open source users, it's free. So we have a free forever tier for Litmus users where the experience is exactly same as the open source Litmus, but it's free too for limited number of runs. And then there are some additional features. If you want, you can go and upgrade to the enterprise version, but the free forever version is same as what Litmus 3.0 GA will be. So this is an update to the tag here. This is a great thing that apart from upstreaming a lot of code, Harness is also happy to open up a free forever tier for community users, right? So lastly, work group update. We did a lot of user interviews last year. Then we took a little bit of a break because we know how open source users are using it, but we also wanted to make sure that we listen to the large enterprise users, chaos in scale, what are the requirements, because the charter goal here is to publish a white paper about best practices around chaos engineering, right? So we are adding some of the enterprise stories as well. Post KubeCon, our enterprise version also took some time to come in, and now we have deployments of an enterprise litmus version, in multiple places. So we are able to go and interview them. What does chaos engine mean to you? What are you planning to look at? How are you planning to expand, scale? So some of the best practices we can hear, and then put that back into the community white paper. So we need to collate that. Our other maintainer is on a month-long leave now. So once Karthik is back, we'll collate all that feedback and take it formally for public comments, the white paper. And the charter goal is to publish a white paper, which we hope unless we receive some significant comments in the comment period, we hope to publish it somewhere in July, August timeframe. So we'll provide a detailed update on what these users have been saying and what exactly is the white paper draft, so we can present that in the next charter meeting. Yeah. Any questions you can take?
I have a couple questions I can get us started. First thing I was wondering is if you're seeing, so, I've been kind of thinking about this tag and the projects we mentor or help with and test frameworks, there's a few of them. I was wondering if you know of other chaos frameworks. Are they, and if they're in CNCF, and if they're participating in like your Chaos Carnival and the Chaos Working Group?
Yeah, there are 3 chaos projects, right? So Chaos Mesh and Chaos Blade. Somehow we got under the tag app delivery. They went under, I think, tag networking. Not sure why that happened.
What can you write those down? I'm not sure I caught those. Yeah.
Okay. Chaos Mesh.
Mesh. Okay.
And Chaos Blade. These are the 2 other projects.
Got it.
They are in SIG network or tag network, right? So they're being mentored or incubated there. We were the first project, and we got into tag app delivery. This is more of how applications are delivered reliably. But Chaos Mesh had the chaos experiments are more related to networking in the beginning, so somehow they went there. But yeah, chaos work group is being participated, initially participated by all of them. The invitation is open to all three groups, right? And in fact, the next charter, we have extended the invitations. We have asked them to do the interviews of their own users. I think 1 or 2 of them were done. And Chaos Carnival, again, is an open platform. It's open for everybody's invitation. There were 1 or 2 presentations of others, other chaos frameworks there. But it's kind of a open thing. Not only, for example, AWS FIS and Gremlin, the vendors came and presented. So we don't go and force the invitations, but it's open for everyone, right? In Chaos Monkey, I know we're not been seeing them in the chaos engineering work group. It was started by CNCF, and we involved the 3 projects. But if you think that they can, we can extend an invitation for Chaos Monkey community. I believe there is a new community that is managing Chaos Monkey nowadays, or was it the old Netflix? I'm not sure. So.
Yeah, that actually kind of leads into another question I wanted to ask. That's awesome that the working group is doing some work and you're working on that white paper. I'm wondering how we make sure, I have an idea here, how we make sure that we're all aware, everyone's aware I'm wondering maybe open a GitHub issue in the tags repo, kind of saying, hey, we're working on this white paper. Here's the current state, come join us.
Okay. I think okay. A new GitHub issue for invitation. Is that
Just I would say in CNCF/tag app delivery, it could just say, white paper on chaos engineering on best practices, kind of like there's a couple issues open now for, the platforms paper or the operator paper. That would give us, like, I would put that in the meeting notes here or something in a couple of weeks if you come talk about it so people know what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we already have chaos engineering work group of CNCF. That's right. So it's under CNCF only. So
Oh, I see. I didn't know that you had a top level group here. Okay, but it looks like it hasn't been updated in a while.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been working and then keeping it updated. Yeah, we need to update with the latest things, right?
Yeah,
So,
I'm almost wondering, like, the way we're doing with artifacts and the way that we did with platforms and operators is they have, like, within CNCF/tag-app-delivery, they have a folder with their charters and things like that. And then we just tag the issues accordingly, according to the working groups that they go to.
okay. Yeah, we can move it there. This was, it started a little while ago. However, is it okay to be here or should we move it under tag app?
I mean, kind of what I'm thinking is you might get more attention if you're in tag app.
Okay.
And then you can open issues there. I mean, you can open the issue here, I guess, for now, and I'm going to subscribe, but.
Sure, Josh. Yeah, it's a good suggestion. I'll discuss with the other maintainers and, let's put that in the notes and we can do whatever makes sense. Yeah.
Cool. And do you all have like weekly meetings? Oh yeah, every alternate Thursday on Zoom. Have those been happening? Here's the meeting notes.
Yeah, so they've been happening. They used to happen, but not last few months. We need to get back and make sure that we close the charter. It's almost reached to a reasonable extent. So the closing effort is what's needed. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I guess, yeah, and that will help us. What I'm also thinking, all these things come together, like just make sure Chaos Mesh, Chaos Blade, get their eyes on that paper and can participate in the working group if they find it valuable.
Yeah, we'll invite. It's a good idea. Let's put it into. Let's create an issue and then so that we track it through the issue, right? So I'll put that note. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, very cool. I do have one other question. So, like, I've been thinking about how we do project meetings at KubeCon. And so one of the ideas was, should we, if there's 8 or 10 different app delivery project meetings happening, should we give an hour to each one and try to allow people to go to many? So that I wanted to ask you, like, what do you perceive as the main value of those project meetings? Is it sharing information with new users? Is it, introducing maintainers to each other? Is it?
Yeah, maintainers to each other was a less of a goal. We've been having other meetings, but people meet. But it's mainly about meeting the users. And even I was thinking every project, they go seek a room and the people have to choose which room to go and attend. And then again, there's a tag app delivery. I had to go run from this meeting to go and provide an update to the tag app. So instead, as I said, let's put all these 7-8 projects and then sit all the users into one room. That could have a super large impact, right? And then useful too, right? So yeah, I would think that's a great solution. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for the feedback.
Yep. Yeah, I think I can take some more questions on Zoom. I'll hang around on the Zoom chat here. But Josh, thank you again for giving this opportunity, and we look forward to provide the work group update in the next call, maybe after making some more progress. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. That was a great update.
Thanks, everyone.
Any other questions? I know I was asking a lot.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, so let's move on to the next item in our agenda, which is really easy. It's just that we've opened up tag elections. I'm happy to see Thomas and Alex have nominated each other yesterday. So now we have 3 people nominated there. If you want to nominate yourself, it's open. It's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding. A lot of talking to maintainers and bringing them together. At least for me, that's one of my goals. So yeah, check that out. Yeah, I'm not a chair right now, so I'm not exactly running those elections. So I'm just part of them. The last thing is I wanted to share, just make sure everyone knows what's happening with the artifacts working group. The issue is, well, actually, that's an older issue that's tagged in there. There's actually now the actual charter is in number 409. So I'll link that in here also. So it's the charter we feel is, thank you Prithvi for joining. The charter we feel is in a pretty good state, kind of describes, why we're putting this group together, what its initial goals and activities are going to be. There's a lot about, I guess I'll share with you that it's a lot about gathering up, so basically OCI images is very focused on file system layers for images. And now we're trying to use the core of what this is to use the same packaging mechanism for other kinds of binaries and config files. And essentially we're kind of coming from the bottom up to gather. So let's call those media types, as in like IANA, Internet Assigned Numbers Authority media types. The goal is, rather than, or in addition to, or while we're waiting for such media types to be registered or something officially with the IANA, we want to figure out ways to more dynamically discover them, gather them up, compare them to each other, learn from them, establish some conventions around them. That's kind of the first layer. We want to build on that to make them more easily discoverable and searchable. So, dig into what those artifacts are. And there are some other ideas further down the line to more unify, distribution and deployment of things that are bundled in OCI bundles. Yeah. So the one last thing, and then, if people want to comment, is we put problem statements. This was a little bit of a debate in the discussions we had, because I see in a lot of the recent working group submissions, they start with problem statements, but some people were like, no, the problem statement should come after we form the working group. So they're in an appendix. If you have an opinion on that, chime in on the issue. Yeah, I'll pause there for comment.
Yeah, I think the INA thing, I think, to be honest, like, everyone ignores it. Like, it says register these things in the OCI specs, and no one's ever registered anything. No one cares. But I kind of feel that the people don't know what patterns to use for doing anything in OCI. It's very opaque. Like, there's a very few examples, and people copy them a bit, but they don't know what, they don't necessarily find all the examples. And then there's no examples for more complicated things. There's only examples for very simple things, and so people don't know how to do the kind of more complicated things. So I think there's a lot of useful work to do in, like, sitting down and coming up with examples. I was going to do an example for, like, how do you put a Git repo in OCI, for example, because someone wants to do that, and it's like very unclear what you should do, lots of options, and unclear the whys of which ones and things like that.
Yeah, it seems like every other day now I see a blog post about something else being bundled into OCI, and presumably in slightly different ways, each one. So let's get ahead of this. Yeah, that's all that's on our agenda for today. Is there anything else that we should discuss?
I have something that I didn't put on the agenda. I'm gonna put my camera back on 1 second. What I wanted to discuss is community outreach. So I had a meeting with 2 folks who are want to be more active with the platforms working group for now because they find the whole group a little bit intimidating, which I can understand. But we have been discussing kind of like how can we activate the kinds of people who might not be interested or willing to join this particular meeting, but would like to get themselves involved in individual stuff that's also not big enough for the working group, right? So like individual stuff. So we've been discussing a couple of things. Among them, I think that are fairly low-hanging fruits are stuff like keeping our website up to date or structuring it in a way where, you know, stuff like the Potato Head project, where we want people to get in on and give us feedback. We could highlight those on the website. So yeah, I don't really know. I don't have any plans on like how to do it and what to do. I just wanted to like throw it into this group for now, see if anyone else has any thoughts. If not, I might, you know, just do something. I feel like this is the best way to get things done, is just to start doing things and then have everyone disagree.
You're tough.
I don't know what it looks like either, but I'm happy to help you with that. I'm really passionate about that too.
Awesome. I think we can really,
About that, I'm happy to brainstorm.
yeah, I think we can start with, I can just create an issue in the repository for now, and then we can maybe put like a doc together where we discuss what we want to highlight, maybe do some mock-ups, you know, just start simple, get a lot of feedback and then see how far we go. Yeah,
I know
that's it.
to platforms and to cartographers as well.
Awesome. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome. I actually, like, in not a very marketing friendly way, we had, after KubeCon Amsterdam, we put together this contributing doc, which maybe it will give you some ideas, but I love that you're focusing on like that persona and the small bite kind of thing. It makes a lot of sense. That would be great. I know
Yeah,
Thomas.
cool. Thomas Schütz, you mean?
Yeah, he does. He did a lot with Potato Head. So, you know, in the past couple months around KubeCon. So maybe he has some, maybe he can help too.
Yeah, sounds good. I will just create an issue and put that in the Slack channel and just, you know, see if anyone else is still interested.
Thank you, Leanne. Anything else? All right. I think that's it then. Good to see everyone, and see you all online.
Thanks.
Bye.
Peace.
Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.